This tool saved me so much time and money. I cannot believe I'm giving this away for free. Hi traders, and welcome to Trading Made Simple. Today I'm going to provide you the access and how-to of the powerful TMS Trade Journal. As you know, journaling your trades is an absolute must. I hope I don't need to explain the positive impact it can have on your results long term, but this is not just any journal. Imagine having your own personal trading mentor analyzing your performance in real time, highlighting strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities to improve. With our automatic insights tab, you'll gain knowledge that will elevate your trading game. So stick around. I'll keep it short. Let's jump right in. First, our trading journal simplifies the whole record-keeping process. No more going through piles of notes or trying to remember every details of your trades. With our simple interface, you can effortlessly log all your trades in one central location, saving you time and energy. So once you click the link, you will arrive to this page. Important note, you cannot make any changes to this template as of now. What you need to do is go to this duplicate tab, click it, create your Notion account and log in, and once you do, this template will be editable, and right now you can change everything and it's your personal template. So let's start going over all of our sections and the functionalities of this journal because we have a lot of them. It provides a lot of options and a lot of opportunity and a lot of customization. So let's start. Our first tab is the Records tab. We have two of them, Records and Insights. We're gonna focus on the Record one. So this is the example of my past month's performance. This is how the journal looks like once it's filled in with all the data completed. It does all sorts of calculations and you can customize everything. We'll go over all of those in a second. But important to understand, we got two tabs in this journal. We have the Records tab and we have the Insights tab. That once we fill our records, this will automatically be updated with certain warnings, suggestions about performance, and about all sorts of stuff. So just keep in mind the Insight tabs will automatically be filled once you fill in your trade records in this Records tab. So let's start by deleting all existing records. You can simply mark them off like this, click delete, and it's gone. I'm just gonna leave two for the sake of the example, and let's log our first trade. To do that, you simply can click new here or here, and it will add a new trade, give it a number, and let's start. Our first column is a date, pretty simple, choose your date, but my suggestion here is you include end date and include time, and then you can choose the actual minute of your entry and exit, and it will calculate the total amount of your trade. So in that case, let's say we entered at midnight and we closed it after 15 minutes. And there you go. It automatically calculated the trade time in the next column, which is around 15 minutes. Our next column is a status, pretty simple. Whether your trade is in progress, is it closed, or it's a pending limit order. You choose each one of those statuses. Let's say it's in progress. Our next column is state of mind, pretty simple, positive, negative, or neutral, up to you. Be self-aware and fill that up. It's important. Do not trade if you're in a negative state of mind. Our next column is a capital, pretty simple. Input your capital amount. For me, it's $2,000. Next column is leverage. It is up to you which one you want to choose. Now, an important note here, everything here is customizable. If you don't like or you see that a certain column is not important for you, you're not interested in this information, simply right-click it and click Hide in View, and it will be gone. You don't have to fill it up anymore. You see, leverage is gone. Let's move on. Position. What's your position size if you're using leverage? I'm usually going for 20K positions. Next column is pair, pretty simple. If you do not have your pair here, most probably, you can simply type it. Let's say I want to go for Tesla, and it will create it. Right now we have a Tesla pair, and it will be saved for the future. Edge, what is your strategy? Again, each one of those values here in color, all of those tags, you can click those three dots here and customize them. You can change their name, you can change the color. So I suggest you add your strategy here, name your strategies, and select each time which trade are you taking, what strategy does it follow. So in that case, let's say I'm taking Stokes strategy. Our next tab is the Confluence. confluence or conditions that support your trade. In my case, I have three conditions, which are structure, BTC direction, and higher time frames. If they agree with me, I will add those tags to this confluence tab. If I don't have any other confluence, nothing to support my trade, I will just keep it empty. It has lower chances of success rate this way. Our next tab is the news tab. Are there any important news today? CPI, Fed meetings, rate decisions, and so on. If yes, just click whichever it's gonna be. Let's say there is CPI today. If no, just keep it empty. Next tab is the direction for your trade. Are you going long or short? Pretty simple. Fill it up. The trend. Are you going with or against the trend? All of this data later on will give you insights in the Insight tab. So it's important you fill up all this information. Are you going with or against the trade? Let's say we're going with. Entry and exit order. Are you entering in limit order or a market order? Just mark it off. Let's say limit market. And then our last tab, which is the dollar amount for the win or the loss. You need to manually input. Let's say I lost $100. And there we go. It will automatically calculate the profit percent for you. And our last tab here is the media. You can simply add a file you can screenshot the trade and add the file right here. It's important. It's going to be very helpful in the future to go back to it and see how it looks like. It will be saved here. You can mark your entry and exit points in the time. You can add additional notes if you want, but basically that's it. We filled our trade. We have all the information. Now, once we did that, you will have your Insights tab. And there we go. Depending on the data you input here, it will give you different insights. We got a few tabs here. The first one is a warning tab, which in certain cases, some of those tabs in our records, like the news tab, like the edge, or the trend as an example. If you do not have an edge, if you don't have a strategy in this trade, if you Fed decisions today, or something of that sort, this tab will tell you, pay attention, there is news ahead of you, you're going against the trend, or so on. Let's give it a try. Let's say today in the news there is rates decision. I change this now, I go back to my Insight tab, and it says there is a warning now, caution, news create volatility. Okay, that's one example. Let's say we want to go against the trend, which is not such a good idea in this case. This Insight tab will give you a new warning, caution, going against the trend, not such a good idea. So let's do another try here, log another trade. I cleaned up everything here so it will be more clear. Date, you want to mark off those checkboxes and add the time of your trade. Let's say it took 30 minutes in that case. And there we go, time of trade in minutes, 30. Status, let's say it's in progress. My state of mind is positive, always. My capital is $2,000. Position is 20K. I'm going for, let's say, whatever. I have this edge. I have that confluence. I don't have any news today. I'm going long on this position. I'm going with the trend. And I'm going in limit order, exiting in market, and I won, let's say, $150. And we're done. And let's say I want to upload this screenshot right here. And I'm done. As you can see, I've done uploading this trade in less than 10 seconds. I have the record, I have everything here. I can come back to it later. I can draw conclusions from it. And I have insights. As you can see, potentially emotional close because I exited in market. And I have suggestions for improvement, to trust the process and work on my discipline in that case. Let's edit this trade a little bit, and let's say we're going against the trend now. And now we have a warning, caution, going against the trend. We have a suggestion, the trend is your friend, wait for another setup in that case. Let's say we want to make another adjustment, and in that case, I took major win, and I did everything right this time. I went with the trend, closed everything in limits, trade is good. And you can see my performance tab says I took a major win. My suggestion is good job, don't let it get to your head, move on to the next trade. Pretty simple. Now, once you have all of this data logged in, you can play with it and you can customize it and you can filter with different stuff. Let's say you want to see only your performance of your shorts. Click short, and there we go. We have only shorts right now. It filtered all of this. If I want to see only the long positions, I remove this and we can see only the long positions in that case. You can basically filter based on your open or closed trades, pending orders, in progress if you have many of those, based on confluence, based on news. Everything you want you can do in this sheet. If there is a column, you can filter it and you can look at it and you can draw conclusions. Also, another important note is at the bottom you will have averages and some calculations for your trades. The first one is the average time of your trade. That's an important statistic. It takes all of those and it gives you the average. In my case, on the 1 minute, the average trade takes almost 12 minutes, which is pretty useful to know. Average position size, average capital, not so important. And then we have the summary of all of your profits, all of your losses, and the sum of your percentage earned and percentage lost, which is a very useful statistic. This is how my Insight tab looks like at the end of the month. There we go. What I like to do here, you have the Conclusion tab. Everything is automatic. The warning, the performance, and the suggestions are automatic. But the conclusion and the action plan, it's up to you to actually fill them. So what I usually do, the system I work, if everything is empty, it means the trade was good. Simple. I go and I tag it as a good trade. If I have a performance suggestions like a potentially impulsive entry and so on, this trade can be improved and that's the tag I give it. If I have a major warning like mindset, negative mindset, or going against the trend, or news days, I tag it as a bad trade. And at the end of the month, I go over all of those and I go and I add an action plan for my can be improved trades and to my bad trade. I add actual practical steps that I can follow. You also have reminders here in case you missed a certain column in your records. It will tell you missing a screenshot, missing position size, and so on. This is an example of my action plan, but this is a very useful tab. You get a pretty clear picture about your performance over a month. Also here in the insights, also in the records, you can see your results, you can see everything, you can filter, you can play with it, and you can get all the insights that you need in order to make changes. Remember, the point of this is to record, reflect, and make changes, adapt, and get better over time. So to summarize, guys, don't settle for mediocrity. Trading is a business and should be treated as such, and the minimum is having your records straight. I hope you like this video because I will keep on providing you with simple, practical, and effective tools and education to improve your trading. So stay tuned, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you next time.